Hello everyone, I am Hazel and I'm gonna talk about this new topic on this new forum that it's called Equity Among All Humans. First of all, I'm gonna start with the questions, and the questions for this new forum are first of all, do you believe that we can strive for equity among all of us? How can we achieve it in Costa Rica? If not, do you think we need to change our education system? If yes, explain in detail using the information you have gathered and your own experience with it. So, first of all, but I think and I believe that we can fight and we fight for equity among all of us here, because there are for example, the feminism movement, the LGBT movement, and all of those movements that fight for equity, even for the integration of within the society and form part of the society, and achieve equity for all of us because it is important, like an adequate treatment for all of us and all of this, and obviously we can fight for it, and with the knowledge and with the information we can do it, but we must be prepared to make big changes, even in ourselves, questions our thoughts and our decisions or actions towards others, because obviously a big part of us have grew up in a kind of environment kind of environments in which some actions or so thoughts are so common, um, like so that kind of actions that propagates the discrimination or the segregation towards others, that maybe we consider different. I think a big part of us have grew up in that kind of environment, even if we don't notice yet, and that it's important to change all of those things, and we can achieve it with knowledge and information about the subject and how to do it. It started with us, and all of those important things. I think, I believe we can do it, and we are doing, for example, these generations, for example, our generations are doing many changes and many things. For example, the information about any topic, about how, for example, treat or how learn, for example, braille system, and all of this that can, or for example, sign language. It's a kind of learn all of this and know about it. It's a kind of integration and a kind of interesting in way, and we can communicate with others, and that it's important to know. So this kind of integration increase the equity, and for example, our generations are making many things, many changes, even if many people don't notice. But yeah, it's important, and we must be prepared, because we must be conscious about anything, everything, and must be conscious about if we are interrupting the fairness for all of us. So with our actions, or with our thoughts, or words towards others. So I know it's important in that part, and I think we can achieve it, and we can strive and fight for it. We are fighting for it. So yeah, and with the next question, that it's how can we achieve it in Costa Rica? Well, for me, it's a kind of tricky question, because obviously, and it's important, and we can achieve it, but for example, we can, we must start it with the government, but it's something tricky and something heavy, because the government don't want to have people that thinking, or people that like fight for equity and inclusion of all of multiculturalism, because obviously it's a big problem for them. But we must start it with the government. For example, in our constitution, that we are not a monolingual country, we are a bilingual country for the English, from the people, well, the people from Limon that speak in English. So in that part, we need to include in our constitution that part. And obviously, our education system need to change. It doesn't matter what, need to change and need to fight and implement it, and a kind of integration, a kind of inclusion of all of the cultural diversity. It doesn't matter their sexual orientation, ethnicity, race, economic status, anything. It doesn't matter what. The education system need to be more inclusive and more empathic with others, because obviously, for example, in the case of bullying and all of this discrimination towards others, the education system needs to be more empathic and take into account all of those problems, and to be more conscious about the problems, and take some ways to lead with them. So obviously, the education system needs to be more empathic and conscious about it, and inclusive with the cultural diversity or multiculturalism, and teach about all of the different cultures and all of the different topics that the cultural diversity it's part. So obviously, we need to change all of this, and but we can start with us, with our actions or thoughts. We can start with, I don't know, questions, everything that we can that we do towards others, even, or I don't know, think more about our actions or words towards others, if our actions are microaggressions towards others, and obviously it's affecting them. And obviously, we need to think more about it. And yeah, we start with us, and that it's important. That will be, I think, an important part to change our, well, this kind of a toxic environment or not inclusive environment, because multiculturalism, it's important and we need them. And I don't know, as these people that it's part of multiculturalism need to feel part of the society and not like a minority or minority. So obviously, we need to change our education system, and be more inclusive, and obviously more open-minded with others, and others' cultures and others' actions, or something like this, something like that. And obviously, well, I think that this will be all from my part. So thank you for your attention.